Hello, my beautiful Virgos. How you doing today? Welcome in, welcome back. I'm so happy you can be here with me tonight. It is Thursday night. Welcome in, welcome back. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day so far. If you haven't been with me before, hello. My name is Priscilla. I'm a psychic medium, tarot reader, empath healer, and I also have the gift of telekinesis, which I will demonstrate for you in a minute. Okay, so I speak to my spirits. I embody my spirits. I speak to them through my pendulum here. I know it sounds crazy, but it is what it is. All right, it's not an opinion, but they're facts. All right, so they're gonna pick up the first several cards, and then I will follow it up with tarot to see what messages I have for you today, Virgo. All right, this is a collective reading for Virgo. We all live different lives and we're all on different timelines. So please take what resonates and leave the rest to who it belongs to. Okay, I do private readings. My information is down below. All right. Let's see, Virgo, what is going on in your energy? This can be either past, present, or future energies right now. Okay. Spirit wanted me to pick from this particular, well, for you and Leo. So you might have Leo in your chart. But let's see what Spirit is trying to say. All right. What is crowning you right now for Leo? I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Leo, but you might be dealing with the Leo. Virgo, bad habits. This is what crowns you. Somebody around you, you have bad habits right now. Drugs, addiction, some toxicities, really bad habits. This can be drinking, drugs, but pills, any kind of bad habits. But it looks like they have, white powder here. All right, so travel. Travel is in your third eye, in your intuition. For some of you, you want to go traveling. Maybe for some of you, you just got back from traveling. All right. Maybe for some of you, I'm getting rehab. I'm getting rehab for some of you. Maybe somebody, your loved one just got out of rehab or they're going to rehab or something like that. But for some of you, you're going on vacation. Take it where it resonates. Okay. What you're saying is girl fight. This is in your throat chakra, your communication. Girl fight. Arguments, physical fighting, at war, competition, competing with one each other. For some of you, there's boxers here. But this is what, some of you are not, you're disagreeing with somebody. You're arguing. You're fighting. For some of you, this can be physical fighting. All right. But you're at war. You're competing with somebody right now. Heart chakra for Virgo. Heart chakra for Virgo. All right. In your heart, you're saying you're moving on. Move on. Thank you. Move on. Thank you. Next. Thank you. Next. This is how your energy is. Your heart right now is feeling. You're moving on. Thank you. Next. Can't, fighting too much, too many arguments. Maybe there was a physical or, a physical fight that happened, an altercation that happened with somebody. Maybe that's why you're moving on. You had enough. You're uninterested. All right. You're uninterested. You or them. Somebody walked away. Somebody walked away. I'm getting like Eight of Cups energy. So somebody walked away. You moved on. Some of you ride bicycles, but look, yeah, uninterested, and then you moved on. Moved on. Uninterested about dealing with somebody here. For some of you, you ride bicycles. That's your, source of transportation. Sacral chakra, Virgo. For some of you, you're moving. I just heard you're moving, period. You're going to a different state, or you want to go to a different state, or you're moving to a different state, or you're traveling to a different state or something like that. But there's travel definitely in your future. Child services. Whoa. So, kids are at risk of being taken or is about to, reporting something, neglect or abuse. This is your love and your love chakra. So maybe you're fighting with your person about your children right now, or children they're at risk of being taken or about to be taken, or somebody's reporting them or something like that. For some of you, you want to homeschool your kids. Just heard that, homeschooling. What grounds you right now, your family, what grounds you is reflecting. You're reflecting right now. Your stability. You're reflecting on your stability. You're reflecting on home. I'm hearing a home. For some of you, maybe you're looking for a new bed or a new home. I'm also hearing you make the bed you sleep in. I just heard that. You make the bed you sleep in. For some of you, you smoke cigarettes, smoke weed. There's somebody who does yoga, who meditates here, who smokes. What you don't see under the deck is impersonator. Somebody wants to be like you, acts like you, dresses like you, look like, copies you. Yeah, somebody who's copying you, who wants to be like you, who wants to just tear you open and wear your skin, baby. That's what kind of energy I'm getting here. Wants to be just like you. For some of you, you love Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. Your light irritates their demons. That's right. Your light irritates their demons. All right. So you might not be for everybody, and everybody's not for you. Period. And that's okay. And that is quite okay. All right. We're not here to be people pleasers. All right. We're not here for that. That's not your life purpose. So I gotta just please you, please you, please. No, you gotta please yourself. Maybe that's why you're moving on here and you're fighting. Maybe that bad habits here. Maybe somebody has bad habits that you have to move away from. Straight up. Virgo, what's going on with Virgo here? With the bad habits. What is this? The bad habits and the drugs. What's the crown? What's the crown chakra here? Yeah, they're left out in the cold, feeling rejected. All right. So isolation, loneliness, somebody's left out in the cold. Maybe they're, inside doing drugs. Maybe that's just part of why they're feeling like this. But somebody's definitely feeling rejected because of their bad habits and toxicities. Or maybe you're leaving somebody out in the cold because of their bad habits. Take it where it resonates, all right? But you're putting up your boundaries because of this. No more enabling. You're feeling used. You're setting healthy boundaries here because of their toxicities. You're leaving them out in the cold. You're done. You're traveling. You're out. Bye. You need help. What's this girl fight with the boundaries? Yeah, you're setting too much fights. Yeah, mental prison. That's right. You're in a mental prison right now. Well, they're in a mental prison because of the arguments. That's why you're feeling like you have to put up your boundaries here. Okay? But you might be overthinking somebody, creating scenarios, they're thinking of you a lot, but somebody here is a mental prison right here. Somebody is a mental prison, and you are putting up your boundaries. They're a habitual liar. That's why you're moving on. Habitual liar, constantly lying, can't hide in lies anymore. The lies were exposed. And that's why you're moving on. Right above that is moving on. Now here you go with the love offer. Maybe you got a love offer, a sincere love offer. Somebody's going to be expressing their love to you, an expression of love. But I feel for some of you, you're not going to be interested. Not going to be interested in this love offer. Okay? Chaser. Chaser, low self-esteem, validation of self-worth, abandonment issues. All right. And right above abandonment issues, I feel like the child services, that's what I feel. Like they're going to feel like somebody abandoned their kid. They're going to try to go with child services for abandonment and neglect. All right. This kid has child. Look at this, children. Right next to that, children. And you're going to be reflecting on this children here. Children involved, using child as a pawn, staying, for the children. Staying for the children. And then this is a chaser, but somebody's staying because of the children, but they want to run. They're reflecting. Somebody here is reflecting on this, but definitely something with children and running. Somebody has a self-low esteem. Maybe they're creating this kid with the low self-esteem, these children, but some children here, are in danger. But maybe somebody's reflecting because of these children too, reflecting because of this. Let's see what the tarot says. Reflecting on these children. Somebody's reflecting on these children though. Somebody that you have a connection with, for sure. What's this for Virgo? Let's let that unfold with bad habits. Let's let that unfold with bad habits. Ace of Cups. Yeah, you want to move on. This can be a new love, new baby. This is new feelings of something, your intuition. This can be marriage, a proposal, a new baby. Again, I feel for some of you, somebody's going to rehab. Somebody's going to rehab, and somebody has enough of somebody. Somebody's definitely had enough of somebody, of fighting and the drugs and this and that. They can't with the bad habits. So, yeah, they're out. Somebody's out of there. Yeah, they found out the truth about something. King of Swords. Driven to succeed. They're defending their beliefs. Somebody can't sleep here. Somebody's definitely with the caged in and something. Maybe somebody's in jail here. I feel like somebody's in jail because of some kind of fight or something like that, a physical fight. But yeah, they're in jail, maybe worried, in fear. Somebody can't sleep. They got depression, anxiety. They're in mental prison here. It says mental prison. And I feel anxiety. Somebody can't sleep. They're depressed. Yeah, maybe, something about a fight. Maybe you're in prison because of a fight. Maybe somebody called Child Protective Services. And there's something to do with jail here. Somebody went to jail. There it is, toxic. In your heart, toxic. Look at that. Habitual liar, toxic, on drugs. Here we got the devil, toxicity with destructive behavior. Somebody's definitely addicted to something here. All right. And you're saying you're moving on, saying thank you. Next. Yeah, lies were exposed. The devil came out. All right. Now they can't sleep. Damn. The devil came out. Somebody was exposed here. Their lies. They're, trying to be controlling somebody here, and somebody put up their boundaries. Like, I don't think so. I'm done. I'm no longer being left out in the cold anymore. I'm no longer going to be, feeling lonely anymore and isolated. I'm no more doing that. I'm no more dealing with your toxicities and anxieties. I'm not having nightmares because of you. I'm traumatized. I'm feeling, the truth is coming out here. Somebody's defending their beliefs. Like, that's it. Enough is enough. I love myself too much. I got to go. This is new feelings. You're done. This person was a habitual liar and their shit was exposed. The devil. That's what crowns here. The heart, the crown. What else? This was temptation. This could have been a third party or drugs. And you're looking ahead. 3 of Wands. You're preparing. You're preparing for progress. You're expanding. You might be traveling again. This is travel overseas. overseas opportunity, but you're making progress. You're looking ahead. You're looking, okay, when is my ship coming in? Looking for the next best thing here. You're done. Foresight, enterprise. You're looking ahead. You're planning. You're preparing. Look at that. 10 of Wands. Burdened. Burdened about this whole, the child services. And this abandonment issues here, and this neglect. You're burdened with this. This is extra responsibility. Maybe somebody, left you high and dry with a child. It can be that too. Somebody's not paying child support. Somebody just abandoned you. Somebody abandoned ship here. I feel like just when I thought I was getting ahead, here you freaking come with the extra shit. But after a 10 is a 1. I'm feeling like, okay, all right, this is it. The breaking point. This was the breaking point right here. I feel like with this whole child services or something that was reported, some kind of abuse, neglect, abandonment issues, that was it. Somebody here was really burdened here. What is this with the 10 of Wands and the children? What is this? Yeah, low self-esteem, delays. Look at this. The Ace of Wands in the reverse. Okay, Ace of Wands in the reverse. Delays, lack of motivation here, lack of energy, lack of passion, way down, boredom. And they're staying for the kids here. All right. They're reflecting with this extra burden here. Yeah, somebody got, a burden there. I got, like I said, after 10, there's 1. This is 1. And I feel like for some of you, you're going to be, you're going to get over this hump, but there might be children involved, and they're using your children as a pawn, or they're using the kid, to give you burden or something like that. But for some of you, there's, I feel like you're going to move on from all of this. Let's see. It's going to be a new start. Yeah, a new start, a new, feelings, new shit, new love, boundaries, putting up boundaries as well. We got dolphin right here. Financial gain usually comes from something you did in the past. And it's, something that you did, because this with the ace, something that you did in the past. It's going to be a new baby. I don't know. Maybe for some of you, artificially inseminated. I just heard that. I don't know why with that. Something that you did in the past, you're going to have a financial gain from. That's coming towards you. That's what this Ace of Cups is all about. You got flute here. Disappointment in a friend or lover. That's right. And that's why you put up their boundaries. And that's why, you came at them defending your beliefs. Ambitious and, coming at them with the truth. So something happened here, but maybe you got, with the maybe when you were at traveling, you might have got into a fight while you were traveling, right now, with someone. Maybe, yeah, I just heard airport. Maybe somebody got busted at the airport with something here or something like that. All right, but pay attention to your work, they say. Pay attention to your work. Desk. So you're overthinking something, and I feel like, with these people around you, maybe at work, who are, who want to copy you, who want to be you, who want to imitate you. They got all bad habits or whatever. They're saying, pay attention to you. You're worry about yourself. Don't worry about the stuff around you. They just want to, they're just mad. because you're competition. You give them competition. So, you have to move on and say, thank you, next. Bye the toxic people, impersonators, the devil. And then you will be taken care of in difficult times. Staff, you will be taken care of in difficult times. Right above that is the devil, all right, with the habitual liar. So God is protecting you right now. You will be taken care of in difficult times. So if you're going through difficult times right now, of course you are, with the burdens and the delays of these child services or whatever. If you don't have children, maybe some kind of neglect. All right. It's some kind of neglect of something. Maybe it can be a landlord. It can be, something like that. Services. It doesn't have to be child services, but it can be services like welfare services or something like that. That maybe they're giving you burdens. All right, maybe they're burdening you and there's delays in something right now. But, Spirit is saying that don't worry, God got you. Even though that the devil is right there, they're going to be exposed. They're going to be exposed. Ear. So it's good news here, right? And that's right underneath love offer, uninterested in the Three of Wands. So there's good news. Yeah, you're preparing whatever, you're waiting for this good news to come in. All right. You're waiting for some kind of good news to come in, whether it be a love offer or this can be a job, an overseas opportunity that you're waiting for, but you might get a love offer that you're not interested in, 4-leaf clover. For some of you, you've been seeing 4-leaf clover. I just heard piercings. Lots of piercings in the ear. Somebody got lots of piercings in their ears. Like 4 or 5 piercings, All right, so great good fortune. All right, great good fortune. Yeah, so like I said, after this whole burden and everything, the outcome is number one. And I feel like right beneath that is the 4-leaf clover. Great good fortune is coming. Like something else is, something's coming. It's just going to be delayed. Like I feel like it's something that's going to be delayed. And they're going to just want you to sit there and reflect on it or something like that. Or that person to reflect, this devil to reflect. Again, it might be reflecting somewhere in a thing, in a place to get better, rehab or whatever. Look, we have here what grounds you, dagger. All right. Fears, worries, tense situations. I can't make this up, guys. That's burden, fear, worries, tense situations. Look, the delays, lack of passion. It's a dagger. Somebody with his children, fears, worries, tension with this whole thing with the child services and the chasing, for sure. Abandonment issues, validation of self-worth, somebody, putting a dagger, making you worry, and fear. Mm. Tell me. What's that, Nicole, with the bad habits? What is this? Creative power. There it is. Vision, original expression. Trust your creative thinking on how to pursue a dream to solve a problem. Okay? Hmm. I want this. Trust your creative thinking on how to pursue a dream or solve a problem, they're saying. Okay, so visionary, this is you, expression, you're original, you have creative power, you're innovative, you know how to get past things, Virgo, you're analytical, you think of everything, the smallest things, you're very attention to detail. You got this. Preparation. Preparation. Here we go with the preparation again. The 3 of Wands. You're preparing for something. The number 3 is significant. 313, 33, September 23rd, September 13th, September 3rd. Something to do with that. September 10th. But, if you want the victory, be prepared for the fight, they're saying. So it's time to plan. Don't get caught off guard. All right. But there's a green and orange, or green and red. Those two colors together, maybe it's a uniform of some sort, but that's significant. Okay. Those two colors, green and red is significant. So they're saying if you want the victory, be prepared for the fight with these bad habits and being left out in the cold. You know, don't get caught off guard with this. With this finance that's going to be coming in. Something is going to be coming in from the past, though, but be prepared for it. They're saying you're in alignment for it. You're in alignment for it. September 22nd, September 2nd, September 12th is here. But you're in alignment. You're vibrating at a frequency that matches your soul intention. That's why you're putting up your boundaries. And Knight of Swords. Or, disappointed in a friend or a lover. So you're awakened to this friend or a lover or whatever. So you're putting out your best self. So you're living your truth. That's why you're disappointed. Something that you found out. That's why you put your boundaries up. You're feeling used. All right. You woke up to something here. So they're saying that you're vibrating at a frequency that matches your soul's intentions. No longer can resonate with people who are fake and don't, are not like you, or they're not your soul tribe. Even though if they're family, it's okay to be family, but your soul tribe is your soul tribe. That's just here in this 3D. But, your soul tribe, you probably know them from many, many, many lives ago, that are here, then that are not your family. Sometimes your family members are, the same people that call the child services, that are stabbing you in the back, talking shit about you, around you, but they're not really interested in you. They just want to, be around you so they can talk shit about you, fighting, just fighting with you, trying to be like you, impersonating you. It can be that too, even though they have bad habits. So whatever, keep it pushing. That's what I say. Keep it freaking pushing. You can't wake a person who is pretending to be asleep. There you go. Okay? You can't wake a person who is pretending to be asleep. And then right there is awake, with the awake. This is you being awake. All right? So they say you can't wake a person who is pretending to be asleep. There it is. So that's what they're saying. If you wander often, the gift of knowledge will come. So don't be in a bubble. Wander. Go travel. See for yourself. There's a big world out there. Don't let people put you in a cage, in a box, trying to make fear and toxicity around you, making you codependent on them, tempting you with, bad freaking, things, leaving you out in the cold, breadcrumbing you. No, it's not what you're here for. You're not here for that. You're here for love, hope, spreading love. Giving love, worshiping, devotion. There it is, prayer. Look at that. Prayer came out. The 17th, September 17th, September 7th is here, August 27th. But prayer, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe, and it will be yours. Worship, devotion, pleading, faith. That's what you're here for. That's what you're looking at. That's what's right above good news with the love offer and 3 of Wands looking forward. That's right. You're manifesting stuff. You're praying for this person to get away from you, I feel too. Like, praying for somebody to give you a sincere love offer, not fake, Feathers are significant. You could be seeing feathers. You could have saw a feather, okay? Horses are significant to you. You can be 59 years old. 1995 is significant. You can have 2 children. September 2nd is here. September 22nd is here. August 24th. 1995 is significant to you, but the calling. Expect to receive the news that you've been patiently waiting for. A call, a text, news, communication, information. But look, it says great fortune right beneath that. So yeah, this is good news. Great fortune, a calling. Your burdens are not going to, and I feel like they're, like this Yeah, like your burdens are going to be, taken away here. Good news is coming in as far as burdens are concerned. Okay. While you're waiting, ask yourself if it's worth waiting for, they're saying here. Expectation, hopeful, delays, stagnation. Look at that. Fears, worries, tense, and it's delays. Okay. Delays, stagnation, boredom, way down. That's what the ace, and you got the same thing here, right beneath it. Waiting. 1973 is significant. You can be 37, 38, or 39 years old. So while you're waiting, ask yourself, is it worth waiting for with this whole children thing here? Some things you're waiting for something. There's a delay with these children. Children are involved. There's somebody staying for the kids. They're reflecting, but I feel like they're burdened. But this is somebody whose expectation, hopeful. There's some kind of you're waiting for something, and you're worried because somebody stabbed you with daggers. Fears, worries, a tense situation, and you're waiting to hear the outcome here. You're waiting to hear the outcome, and it could be about children. Okay, it could be about children. If it's not about children, it's something that you started. Okay, a birthing of an idea, birthing of a business, something like that, a birthing of a project. All right. What else? Let's see. Let me give you one of these. All right. Virgo. Mountain. So there's obstacles and challenges. That's right. But they're saying that, if you want victory, be prepared for the fight. For these obstacles and challenges. So they're saying that patience is gonna be needed with this. But financial gain usually comes from something that you did in the past. So it's going to require patience. All right. So look at that. Possible delays. Again, it came out. Possible delays. Delays came out 3 times, guys, one after another. So there's definitely some kind of delays with something. It can be some kind of services here. Again, it doesn't have to be child services. It can be any kind of services that you can get in trouble with. All right, so you got boundaries. Look at that. Boundaries right on top of one another. So yeah, this is you putting up your boundaries, not surrendering, standing your ground. That's what that is. You know, you're staying true to yourself. You're in alignment. You're awake now. All right, you're awake. Maybe you traveled somewhere and you took something and it awakened you or something like that. You found something out. I don't know, but it awakened you. Look at that. Stepping stone is right next to that. You're taking one step at a time now. Don't rush the journey. All right? The start of something bigger, they're saying. Even with this whole fighting and this whole, you being and having anxiety and being in mental prison and all that, says you can't wake a person who's pretending to be asleep. That's right. So, pay attention to your work. Take one step at a time. Gradually building on success, they're saying. So pay attention to your work. All right. You might be imprisoned or something like that. You might be at war with your people that you work with. But look, manifestation came up right next to that. All right. And this is with the habitual liar, the devil. Dreams manifest into reality. That's right. Your manifesting power is strong, they're saying. So that's right. You will be taken care of in difficult times. So this is spirit saying, thank you. Next, you moved on. You're getting more out of what you want now because your manifesting power is strong, and your dreams come. You're manifesting what you want. Your manifestations are close. They're saying. So something is close. There might have been delays or something, but it's coming. Good news. It's coming. Okay, it's coming. Because creativity, new creative ideas, you're focused on expressing yourself, following your creative instincts here. But yeah, feel like something's coming and you're torn between two paths here, you know? The space between the old and the new, all right? With this chaser, abandonment issues. Oh my God, I can't make this up. Look at that. Delays again. And it came up, right? Delays 3 times in the same row here. Delays. Like staying for the kids, you know, staying for the kids, delaying. And then dagger, all in one row, guys. So what is that telling you? You know, you're frustrated by the slow results. Any pace is a good pace. They're saying patience and perseverance. Again, it's going to require perseverance and patience. All right, you need patience. You can't rush this progress. It says here you can't rush this progress, but delays again. So, guys, something's being delayed, whether it be a car, a child, whatever it is, a house. Something's being delayed, a business deal, services of some sort. This can be exactly what it is, child services. All right, so this is a dog. They're saying dog. You can have a dog. You can have a brown dog. You can have a black dog or a brown and black dog. You can be seeing a dog on television, in a book, on the internet. You probably have dog in the 3D. Family loyalty, it means. Okay, it says you are loyal and true to those in your circle. You deserve the same in return. Don't settle for less than what you give. That is right. All right, like I said, sometimes you don't resonate with everybody. Not everybody resonates with you, and that's okay. You're not here to be pleasing the whole, everybody. No, it doesn't work like that. You're here to tell your truth, be happy, be merry, do you, okay? So don't settle for less than what you give, So you are loyal and true to those in your circle. You deserve the same in return. Don't settle for less than what you give with these bad habits, people trying to put you in a mental prison, trying to fight with you, all right? Lying and shit, chasing. Forget all that, You're uninterested. You're moving on. You're reflecting from all this. You're out of there. There's delays, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be good. Just don't settle for less than what you give. Okay? This was your message. I hope it resonated with you. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. Okay? Love you guys. Love, light, and peace to each and every one of you, Virgo. Love, light, and peace. Please be kind to one another. Don't be mean because mean people suck. Okay? I love you, Virgo. I will see you soon. Peace out.